everybody doing? I know it's been a minute since I've been on here. I got a lot of stuff working behind the scenes and been pretty busy with that. It's been occupying a lot of time. But I wanted to jump on here and talk about you stop letting your emotions control you. You have to stop letting your emotions control you, because if you're a man listening to this and you get upset, if you get upset really easily, people offend you easily, you are very sensitive to what somebody says and you get reactionary. The problem with that is not only are you showing that your emotions control you, but people can control you based on that. A lot of guys I talk to, they tell me that they get into an argument with their woman. They tell me that they get frustrated, they get angry, they do different things because they're upset. And even if they don't act on that emotion, whether it's anger, frustration, sadness, whatever it is, even if they do not act on that emotion, what happens is they internalize it. And when you internalize something and you never express or process that emotion, what happens is it bottles up inside you, and it's actually bad for your health. It's bad for you, your mental, your physical health, all of that. But that is when you get to the point where you don't know how to control it. You don't know how to just let it go. Now, one thing that's interesting is when you don't know how to control your emotions, people see that. Women see that. And the way they see it is based on, if, say, for instance, someone says something that you don't agree with, but the person that is with you or the person that knows you, it doesn't bother them. It may not even be something that was directed toward you, but someone says something that bothers you and you act a certain way and you get defensive and you get angry and you start saying different things that are disrespectful to somebody. That lets that woman know that you don't have any control over your emotions. You just let anything get to you. And when you let anything get to you, there is no strength. There is no spine, no backbone. And women see that. Women see when you let your emotions control you. And here's the thing. If you're that type of guy that gets upset and your emotions control you to the point where you just shut down or you just start acting very beside yourself, women see that and it's a turnoff. And it's crazy. And the reason why I brought this up is because I see so many guys get mad about the smallest things that don't have anything to do with them. When you get mad and you get frustrated about things that don't have anything to do with you, but you start to act upon that, meaning you express it in unhealthy ways, you get angry and frustrated, you break things, you yell at people, you just act very emotional, that shows a woman your character. That shows a woman that this guy doesn't know how to control himself. He has no self-control. He can't manage himself. He can't do anything that shows that he's in control. So why would I listen to him? Why would I trust him? And I get it. Some of you, it may be difficult for you to be able to control yourself. It may be difficult because maybe you read something, or maybe you see something, or maybe somebody says something to you and it upsets you. You feel like you've been disrespected. But the thing is, you got to realize that at the end of the day, only person that can really affect your emotions and how you feel about yourself or a situation is you. It's all about how you look at it. And I'm gonna go a little deep on this. If you're only used to growing up around certain people, right? Maybe I won't use that example. I'm not gonna use that example. But let's just say that all your life, your family has taught you and told you certain things that are not necessarily true. Maybe they taught you and told you that these type of people stay away from. These type of people don't mess with. These type of people don't deal with. If you've been told that all your life and it's not true, but you don't know that because that's what you were raised to believe, when someone tries to tell you the truth or they challenge what you say or what you think or your beliefs, you're going to get frustrated and you're going to get upset because your mind only has the files that your family gave you when you were younger. That's the only thing that you know about that situation. So if someone says, for example, I didn't want to go here, but I'm going to go ahead and go here anyway. Say, for instance, you're black, right? You grew up in a black community and your family always told you, hey, stay away from the white man. It's the white man this, it's the white man that. Say, for instance, that's all you've known all your life, but you've never experienced any racism. You've never experienced any type of prejudice. You never experienced any of the things that your family told you that they say they experienced or may have experienced. They may just be making that up. Say, for instance, that you've never experienced any of that, but that's what you've been taught. That's what you've been told. Now, here comes the thing. You have two options. When you get older, if someone challenges your thinking and you look back and you say, you know what, that's what I was taught, that's what I was told, but I never experienced that. Okay, I'm more open to a conversation because that's not what I experienced. Now, if you're that type of person, that means you are open-minded. That means you have a high level of intellect because you want to actually know the truth. You want to know what's going on and you want to hear something from somebody else's perspective. That's intellect. That's you actually not letting your emotions get involved in controlling you and not letting what you've been taught and told or told to believe, you're not letting that get in the way or interfering of you actually learning and actually understanding things from different points of view. Now, you have other people that they've been taught, they've been told, but there is no proof. But the only thing that they have to go from is what they've been taught. So if you try to tell them like, hey, this is actually how it is, man. Have you experienced that? No. Okay. You haven't experienced that. I haven't experienced that. Why are you defending something that you've been taught to believe that does you no good? It serves you nothing. And you're stuck. You get what I'm trying to say? It's like you have no proof of what you've been taught and told. So why are you defending something that you have no experience about, something that you really don't believe it like that, but since it's in your subconscious mind and you've been taught that, then you accept it without questioning it. And that's where people mess up, is because they don't really think for themselves. They don't really question things. So when you've been taught something and you don't question it, what happens is, since you don't use your logic, and I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just being real. If you don't use your logic and you don't question it, then the only other thing that you can do is get defensive and emotional. That's the only thing you can do, because you're thinking like, okay, the file says that, people are this way, people are that way, but I don't have experience of it, but I don't want to be challenged because my parents told me that, my family told me that, so let me just stick to that. And then you don't have any proof of it because it never happened to you. You didn't experience it, so you have no other choice but to get emotional about it. You get what I'm trying to say? So where does this tie into when it comes to just life, women, dating, whatever, right? Where it ties into is, if you've been taught and you've been told that modern women are this, modern women are that, but you don't have any experience on that, you just hear it from social media and the internet, but you never really went out your door, walked up to a woman and talked to her, had a conversation with her. If you never did any of that, then guess what? The files in your mind are going to say, well, the red pill says this. If you guys understand what I'm talking about, give me a thumbs up. Some of you may not. You may be a little bit older. Like myself, I didn't know some of this shit when I was growing up, we didn't use all these crazy terms. We didn't use hypergamy. We didn't use the manosphere. We didn't use red pill. We didn't use any of that shit. We just talked like men and interacted with women. We just kept it simple. Now you got the generation that's trying to confuse you, because when you're confused, you can be controlled. But that's another topic, another video. But anyway, if you've been told all these things, but you don't have the experience, the only thing you have to go back on is what you've been taught, if it's true or not. And so when you do get into a relationship or you meet a woman, you're only thinking about the things that you've been taught and told. And those things are going to surface, and your thoughts control your emotions, and your emotions control your behavior. And that controls the results you get or don't get with women. You get me? It makes sense. Give me a thumbs up if you understand what I'm trying to say. Give me a thumbs up. Now, if you are that type of guy who's had experience with women, and you say like, yeah, man, I don't like that's what you guys say, cap, right? If you say like, yeah, man, that's cap, you, like modern women are this and that. I got experience. I try to talk to this chick, she goes to me. I try to do this. I try to do that. I get it. But you have to understand, biologically, scientifically, street, game, all that. Just hear me out on that. I hear what you're saying, right? But at a deeper level, that tells me that you really don't know what you're doing, and you really don't know what you're talking about, because it doesn't matter if it was way back in the day. It doesn't matter if it's now. It doesn't matter if it's in the future. All of us, right? Especially women, there are things that are inherent within all of us that it doesn't matter what century, what year it is. Your behaviors, how you show up as a man, that trumps all of that. Because here's the thing with this society now. It's more about winning the woman's approval. It used to be about the body. Like a guy, hey, you just want to, have sex, smash, whatever, right? That's what it used to be about. Now it's about, I just want her to approve of me. I just want to win her love, respect, all this other stuff that's somewhat external, right? But the thing you got to realize is that it doesn't matter what era it is in life. If you don't have a woman's mind, if you don't have her heart, if you don't have her soul, and I don't mean that in a negative way, if you don't have those things, it doesn't matter if she, quote unquote, gives you the time of day, or she accepts you for you, or whatever you want from her. And it doesn't even matter if she gives you the sex, right? So what am I saying? Why am I saying all this? I'm saying all this because I want you to think for yourself. I want you to think for yourself and think, okay, hey, I don't have experience that these guys that are talking about women in the modern world, modern dating, this and that. I don't have the experience on that. So I'm not going to trust what another man says his experience was, good or bad, because I don't have that experience. And when you're honest with yourself, you say, hey, I don't have that experience, so I'm not going to base my reality off of another man's reality. That's when you win. Now, the other thing is, if you are the type of guy that you get disrespected and you are experiencing the modern world, what men are talking about, what men are saying, here's the other thing that's challenging. The other thing that's challenging is that, you ever hear of confirmation bias? Basically, that's like somebody saying like, hey, modern women this, modern women that. And then you go out and date, you experience it. But the thing is, you subconsciously are looking for what they said because you want to prove what you think you know, or what you've been told, or what you've been taught. That's crazy, right? and a lot of guys don't understand that. But when you really slow down and you really understand how everything works in the world, when it comes to women, when it comes to businesses, when it comes to attraction, desire, sex, when you understand all of that, it doesn't matter what time of day it is. It doesn't matter what era that we're in. It doesn't matter if someone told you something and you experienced it. It doesn't matter if they didn't tell you something, you experienced it. It all falls back on you, and it falls back on first being able to think logically as a man and being able to not let your emotions control you, because when your emotions control you, you don't get a favorable outcome. When your emotions control you, you'll always be stuck, you'll always be blaming, and you'll always be confused. And the other thing is, like I said before, your thoughts drive your emotions. So if you think a certain way about a woman based on what you think, what you've seen from social media, what somebody told you, it's always going to override everything else when it comes to your emotions, because that is very powerful. Emotions are powerful. That's just what they are. But it all starts with the thought. Where are your thoughts coming from? Are your thoughts your own thoughts, or are they other people's thoughts? And when you dissect that and you get it, then it'll make more sense. The last thing I want to leave you with, go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you get where I'm coming from, if you understand it, if you resonate with it. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. The other thing, and the last thing I want to say, is that when you listen to some of these guys that talk about game, when they talk about attraction, when they talk about dating, there's some good guys out there, though. I'm not going to put their name out there, but there's some cold guys out there. But one thing I will say is that if you don't know everything that person is teaching you or telling you, you can never be in a position to where you understand everything and you can live at a higher level based on where you want to live. I'm not talking about like in the world. I'm talking about as far as like when it comes to dating, when it comes to women, when it comes to manhood. And what I mean by that is sometimes there are people that really deeply understand the truth. It cuts through all the bullshit. It cuts through everything that you've been taught. It's the real deal. It's how can I put it? It's like the best example I could use is it's almost like if they knew exactly how to bake a cake. The cake takes 5 ingredients, right? Now they know, like, hey, this is a fucking cake. It takes 5 ingredients. This is what it is. What happens is through time, people like to water things down. They don't have discipline. They lack character. And when you don't have discipline, you lack character, then you'll try to shortcut shit. You'll try to cut corners, what they say. And what happens is sometimes the shit waters all the way down to where you think the game and you think that dating, relationships, attraction, you think that only takes 2 ingredients. Like, I'm using it as an example and as an analogy. You think that, like, hey, I got those 2 ingredients. This is what it is. This is modern women. This is this, and that. But it's 5 ingredients. It's 5 ingredients. And some guys do not share everything, because if they shared with you what the 5 ingredients are, then they're out of business. Or you may be doing better than they are. You never know. But what I'm trying to say is sometimes when you listen to guys online, they are not aware. They may get the results. They may, help you out. But sometimes you got to understand that sometimes people will only give you so many ingredients out of the 5 to where you may get, let's say, friends, you get lucky as hell. You figured it out. You get 3 or 4 ingredients. The only thing is you're still missing that 1 or 2 ingredient. And when you're missing that 1 or 2 ingredient, the thing about that is you don't know, number one, but number two, you keep wondering, like, damn, I get this far in dating or a relationship, but I always keep messing up at this. What is it? I don't understand what it is. You're missing that 1 or 2 ingredient that completes the whole 5. That's what it is. That's what it is. And when you don't have those ingredients, like I said, you'll always be stuck. And one thing I will say is, one of the main ingredients for anything in life, one of the main ingredients for anything in life, no matter what you do, no matter your career, no matter what woman you date, no matter what arena, it does not matter. Can you guess what that one ingredient is when it comes to that? It's you not letting your emotions control you. That's that one ingredient. That one ingredient. Because if you're the type of guy that gets frustrated or you get angry or you act a certain way based on what somebody tells you, based on what's going on, guess what? You're already missing that one ingredient. That one ingredient is not letting your emotion control you. You get what I'm trying to say? So if your emotions are controlling you, it doesn't matter if I give you the other four ingredients. It doesn't matter because your emotions are controlling you. Remember, I told you it's the thought, the emotions, the actions, and the behaviors. I could give you all the knowledge in the world, all the wisdom in the world, but until you understand how to not let your emotions control you, it does not matter. I want you to sit with that. I want you to think about that. Really think about that. For the next week, when you see something on TV that you don't agree with, or you try to go up to a woman and she shuts you down and you get upset, I want you to really think of, where are my emotions coming from? What am I thinking? Why am I getting angry? Why am I getting frustrated? Why do I feel deflated? I want you to really think about those things because that's going to tell you what you need to do. That's going to tell you what you need to work on. Because if you get upset because a woman turns you down, you might have a lot to work on. And that tells you that you're seeking approval, you're not getting it, and you're basing your own validation off of her getting with you or not getting with you, and you get upset when you don't get it. So it's deeper than that, and I'll end up making videos in the future where I talk more in depth on that because I don't want to confuse anybody. But the first thing is, if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe. If this is the first video you're watching, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And just pay attention. Pay attention to how you respond when things don't go your way, or you hear things you don't like, or you see things you don't like. Pay attention to how you respond. Now, the other thing I will say is pay attention to how other people respond when that happens as well. You'll see it. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And that's your homework for this week. I know it's been a while. I got some stuff working in the background like I told you about, but I want you to do that, this week, and just let me know in the comments if you're watching this video later on, or you're already watching this video and it's a week later. Let me know, hey, I noticed this. Like, damn, I see what you're talking about, because I'm here to help you guys. But other than that, this has been a good video. I'll go ahead and end it now, read some of these comments, and I'll get back with you later. Let me see. I can't pronounce that. I know it's Aura 4826. Hi, hey, how you doing? Joe Latson, what's going on? Hello, just joined. Hey, what's going on, my lovely Todoroki? How you doing? Feeling bad, and I just stumbled across this live. Hey, feel good. Feel good. Hope this helping you feel better. Let's see. It's going pretty good. Can't complain. Just out here taking care of some things, and wanted to make this live and update you guys, and that's pretty much it. Well, other than that, you guys have a good one. I will talk to you later.